In this video, I will present the diet for immortal humans in more details with references and sources of information. So let's go. As always, I recommend you to download the presentation as PDF file from the link in the description. Then you will get access to the source of information, to the references. So again, let's go. Naked rats are known as non-aging mammals. This is scientific fact. In general, other mammals are experiencing exponential increase in risk of death, or the so-called mortality rate, as they get older. In contrast, the naked rat mortality rate is not increasing even at ages 25-fold past their time to reproductive maturity. Naked rats in the wild primarily eat tubers, roots, and bulbs that are rich in resistant starch. Bacterial fermentation of resistant starch in their gut produces short-chain fatty acids such as acetic, propionic, and butyric acid, and B vitamins. Short-chain fatty acids can be a source of energy for naked rats, and they are main source of energy for sure. Naked rats also eat their own feces to get amino acids and protein produced during bacterial fermentation of resistant starch. Naked rats, like many other rodents, are able to synthesize vitamin C, so-called L-ascorbic acid, in their liver. Okay, this is naked rats. They live underground, and they live up to 40 years. Okay, this is what is interesting. Common mole rat live up to 30 years, not 40, but quite long, also 30 years. They're compatible in size. And their diet is similar to that of the naked rats, but they don't practice coprophagy, so ingestion of feces. But again, it is quite, for us, it is quite indication that eating resistant starch is beneficial for longevity. Ant queens can sometimes live 40-50 times longer than their working counterparts, having the same genetics as queens, but eating plant-derived foods. Termite queens and kings can live significantly longer than worker termites despite having the same genetics. While worker and soldier termites typically live between 1 and 2 years, some termite queens can live up to 50 years. Queen bees live significantly longer than worker bees, typically from 2 to 5 years compared to the worker bees. Lifespan of 5 to 7 weeks during the honey production season. This difference in the lifespan of royals and working insects is a result of various factors, but the queen's diet is the major one, I believe. I discussed this mystery in my videos and presentation. You can click on the link and go to the videos. In considering these facts, I attribute the extreme longevity to the diet of long-living animals. So again, so it is not any supplements, it is not genetical, it is the result of the special diet. Okay, this is social insects like honeybees, wasps, and ants and termites. In my recent video, you can click on it and watch it again. I propose to achieve radical lifespan and health span extension by modifying our diet to include amino acids, large amounts of resistant starch, in particular resistant starch type 2, and mega doses of vitamin C. Resistant starch type 2, undigested in the small intestine, passes into large intestine where it acts as a prebiotic and fermented by the gut bacteria. In contrast to cellulose fibers in fruits and vegetables, incorporating resistant starch type 2 into the diet in large amounts would shorten colonic transit time. Again, fibers, cellulose fibers, they extend colonic transit time, and prebiotics like resistant starch type 2, they are shortening colon transit times, which is better. Nowadays, many amino acids are produced industrially by bacterial fermentation of carbohydrates at the multi-million ton scale, and they are not expensive. So you can go to the wiki and read more about amino acids, but again, they are quite affordable. This is how the transit time, gut transit time distributed. So mostly it is food is take up to 80 hours in the colon. And okay, you can go to this picture or click on the picture and you see how colonic transit time is related to pH, to acidity in the colon, and the microbial diversity, etc. Vitamin C is important in reducing oxidative stress during hypoxia in mammals, particularly in naked rats. They live in an environment sometimes very low in oxygen, so they have hypoxia, and vitamin C is absolutely important for them to survive. It acts as an antioxidant, thus mitigating cellular damage. In contrast to naked rats, humans cannot produce vitamin C in the liver. Therefore, it is necessary to include ascorbic acid in the diet in amounts that are equivalent to that produced by other mammals. Ascorbic acid is a blend of L-ascorbic acid, this is vitamin C, and D-ascorbic acid. It is produced industrially by bacterial fermentation, but medical professionals claim that intake of ascorbic acid in doses above 2 grams daily can increase the risk of kidney stone formation. They recommend 60 milligrams per day. This is ridiculous, guys, absolutely ridiculous. However, some studies conclude that large doses of ascorbic acid, it is large at only 2 grams, do not affect the calcium oxalate and kidney stone formation from calcium oxalate. So this is the two versions of the ascorbic acid. L-ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, and D-ascorbic acid, a little bit different, different age group orientation. As I explained in my videos, you can go in presentation, the formation of kidney stones is related to consuming oxalate-rich foods and fructose. Oxalate-rich vegetables include spinach, parsley, bitter lettuce, and beets, and sweet potatoes. Certain fruits like bananas, raspberry, kiwi are also high in oxalate. Also, some nuts and seeds such as cocoa, almonds, soy products, are high in oxalate. The oxalate excretion by kidney is only about 10 to 40 milligrams per day. It is very low. And the calcium and magnesium in the diet and the healthy microbiome reduce the oxalate absorption from the gut. But again, some people have this high oxalate intake, and then they get consequences to health are devastating. Oxalate can be also produced from fructose in our body, and high fructose intake can contribute to metabolic syndrome. This is a combination of conditions that increase the risk of kidney stone. This is calcium oxalate crystals in kidneys. They formed, and then kidney also get inflamed and working not so well. So fructose, as I said, it is not only a formation of oxalate, but other problems. A lot of other problems. So uric acid is broken down by enzyme uricase in all animals except humans and primates. In humans, it may accumulate in the blood due to the lack of this enzyme. And from time immemorial, it was believed that the development of gout or arthritis and hypertension are related to excessive meat consumption. That's again ridiculous, but okay, this is the opinion of medical professionals. In fact, hypertension, elevated uric acid levels in the blood, and arthritis have one common cause. This is chronic inflammation of the kidneys and their inability to remove both oxalate and uric acid salts from the blood. The solubility of sodium monourate decreases with urine when urine and blood serum are alkalized. And this can happen, yeah, okay. The body uses the amino acids glutamate to remove ammonia, and this is a toxic waste product in the kidney, and by synthesizing glutamine, glutamate and glutamine, they are different only that glutamate don't have ammonia group, but glutamine has ammonia group, and then so it is working to stabilize acidity of in urine, but also in blood. Pardon. So again, what is promoted, I mean, that by medical professionals. So to avoid alcoholic drinks, meat, fish, and especially liver, and So it is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. But okay, this is an opinion which I don't share with medical professionals. I'm not medical professional, so you can follow medical doctors. So I have PhD in physics, and so I'm not supposed to give you any advice. And so, but this is to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. Animals that make their own vitamin C produce large quantities of it and ranging from 80 to 180 milligram per kilogram of body weight per day. And low levels of vitamin C in the body can lead to increased oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, and complications in infectious diseases. Ascorbate is also required to neutralize and excrete certain toxins. This means that a 70 kilo 160 pounds man would need 6 to 18 to 14 grams of vitamin C, or twice more, about 12 to 28 grams per day of industrially produced ascorbic acid for optimal health. So it is again, Linus Pauling was recommending such amounts, and he personally was taking 18 grams of ascorbic acid per day, but now it is again, it is considered 2 grams of vitamin C of ascorbic acid already too much, and the recommended dose is only 60 milligrams per day. I just cannot understand why people don't think about nature, how nature works. In the case of stress or an infectious disease, the requirement of ascorbic acid may increase to 100 and up to 200 grams per day, so it's a lot. The most common digestive symptoms of ascorbic acid intake in megadoses, so it is above 3 grams, are osmotic diarrhea and stomach cramps. To avoid these effects, it is important to combine megadoses of ascorbic acid with a large amount of resistant starch. I was talking it in my presentation. Again, this is a solution, because if you need 100 grams of ascorbic acid per day, how you can digest it? It's every 3 hours you take 3 grams, but it is only 20 grams per day, not 100. But with resistant starch, the doses can be much higher. So this is high dose vitamin C, work for cancer, so it is killing actually cancer cells. So it is very important to have enough vitamin C. Butyric acid, or butyrate, also other name of the ion of the butyric acid. Short-chain fatty acids produced by gut bacteria from resistant starch in the colon. It offers several health benefits, primarily supporting gut health and potentially aiding in various health conditions. It acts as a primary energy source for epithelium layer in the colon, reduces inflammation, and may improve insulin sensitivity and blood sugar regulations. Okay, this is just official, it is fact. Additionally, butyrate can help manage conditions like irritable bowel syndrome and even potentially reduce cancer cell proliferation in the colon. Food sources of butyrate are butter, ghee, and cheese, and amino acids glutamate and glutamine can be also energy sources for the epithelium layer in the small intestine. Eating butter with monosodium glutamate in the morning would help to improve the health of the small intestine. So if you take only resistant starch, it improves health of the large intestine in the colon, but in the thin intestine, in the thin intestine, you need some food sources like butter, and monosodium glutamate also can help. So partial replacement of table salt with monosodium glutarate may benefit gut health further. Again, medical professionals recommend to avoid monosodium glutamate, and maximal doses it's like 2 grams per day. But again, if we replace all sodium, if we replace all table salt with monosodium glutamate, it is up to 40 grams per day. So I consume quite a lot, and I don't see any side effects, absolutely nothing. But okay, long-term test should show how it works. Okay, this is butyric acid. You see it is short, only 4 carbon atoms. It is short, relatively short amino acid, but it is very, very healthy, and it can travel even to the brain and improve health of all tissues. Okay, and so Professor Thomas Seifried, yeah, claims that high levels of glucose and glutamine is the most okay. So in the blood increase the risk of cancer development, and proposes limiting food sources of glutamine such as meat, dairy, seafood, and eggs. Wow! And he is very popular on internet and very active proposing this. Pardon, it's to me it is absolutely not true. Okay, in fact, glutamine and glutamate. Pardon, here it should be GLU. Okay, okay. Glutamine and glutamate are the most abundant amino acids in the blood. Supplementation with glutamine and glutamate can reduce appetite and sugar craving and improve gut health. Combination of glutamate with glycine may have a synergistic effect of muscle growth and gut health. Industrially produced amino acids such as cysteine, glutamine, glutamate, glycine, HMB, leucine, lysine, taurine, threonine, and valine are inexpensive and can be included in the modified longevity diet together with large amounts of resistant starch type 2. So in the next video I'm working on it, so I will provide more information about potential benefits of amino acids combined with resistant starch. Okay, this is Professor Thomas Seifried. Okay, he claims absolutely the same what medical professionals claim, so no wonder. And he promotes this meat-free and dairy-free diet, especially for elders. Okay, there is some ground for this, I was explaining, but again, this is not the solution. It shortens lifespan of people. Okay, so we need protein, or at least we can replace some protein by amino acids. Okay, I was talking about this already. The dairy intake of amino acids, large amounts of resistant starch type 2 and mega doses of vitamin C can benefit individuals following various diets, including standard American, Mediterranean, Paleolithic, vegan, and vegetarian diets. So the best results are expected for individuals following a ketogenic and carnivore diet. The proposed diet modification would allow people to live longer and healthier lives, even in poor developing countries, because everything is very cheap. If amino acids are not available at low prices, the source vide technique can enhance protein breakdown in meat and fish. Again, I also use it. I eat every day about half kilo of meat, but not every day, but mostly about such amount of meat cooked, but with source vide technique. Water-soluble proteins like whey proteins, egg whites, and bone broth are recommended to be a part of the diet for elderly. Dry yeast powder contains vitamin group B and some minerals and some protein also. So it also can be included in the diet for longevity. So this is zero carb diet, which is a carnivore diet. Again, for younger people it works perfect. I highly recommend. If you are younger than like 40, it's the best diet you can follow. But above 50 and above, already protein is not very well digested. Even if you consume a lot of protein, it is just damage your health. I was talking about this. And instead, with North American diet is consumption of grains and some seeds and some amount of vegetables and fruits, and very little amount of meat and fish. So I have been taking resistant starch type 2 and amino acids in limited amounts for a long time, but only recently switched to larger amounts. My first impression is that such a modified diet has improved my health, including better sleep, increased endurance, and improved skin conditions. Okay, I work on it. So I work on to improve my appearance, to look younger. But at least I sleep better and the endurance is quite well. And I'm cycling 3 hours a day or go cycling and swimming, and it's quite well working for me. So however, my body weight has increased from 73 to 36 kilo in a month. Okay, it's again, I just maybe pushing myself to eat more meat and eggs, and even if I'm so tired, I think, oh, I have to eat more protein, but probably I have to have a balance, find a balance, because resistant starch gives a lot of energy. Flatulence, also farting during physical activity, is the only side effects which bothers me. Okay, this is, if you go to gym regular, then this can be a problem. It is not stinking, it's absolutely odorless gas. It is CO2, methane, and hydrogen, but yet if it can be some problem. Okay, but I go mostly for cycling or swimming, and it is not a problem at all. So nature demonstrates that consuming large amounts of resistant starch increases longevity in naked mole rats and common mole rats. Okay, this is again, nature shows you that it works. It works. So, and because naked mole rats don't age, again, scientific fact. So we have to think about this. So, but yet again, how this longevity diet will work for humans in the long term remains to be seen. So wait maybe a few years before you will see an impact of this diet on my health. I shifted relatively recently, but I'm quite happy about the results. So you can go to the references and read and make your own research. This is what I highly recommend, because I'm not supposed to give you any any advising. I do this research mostly for myself, because I want to live forever young, or maybe 1,000 years, and I love it. I enjoy life. Even I take life with all the suffering and losses, but yet again I love life. So I want to live longer. And as I said, I have PhD in physics and mathematics, but recently, a few years ago, I started to work on this health and in biology, and I also enjoy it. I love biology. I love this area of research, and I find that I can contribute to it. And again, it is very different from what is promoted by official science and the medical professionals. Very different. But even it is different from what people are talking about carnivore diet. So carnivore diet is getting more popular. For younger people, again, it is perfect. But for older people, it's a problem, and it may shorten lifespan of the elderly. So you have to think about what to do. Okay, that's all. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Take this as for your information. Okay, thank you.